I just picked up something really exciting at FedEx. Let's go home and see what it is. Hi folks, I'm Rachel. Welcome back to Jabba's Reptile Room, or in this case, Jabba's Reptile Kitchen. It is way too hot in the reptile room today, so I am filming out here. So as you saw in the beginning of this video, something very exciting is happening. So I just picked up this box from FedEx. It's from Underground Reptiles. They are an importer. Unfortunately, the only way to get this species right now is through an importer. I'm very excited because this is a species that I have had and produced before. I recently lost my pair, and so I wanted to continue working with this species and getting more genetic variation into the bloodlines that I currently have. I currently have three of my previous pair's offspring, and so I've got a trio today of these lovely little animals. So I'll be showing them off to you today and getting them set up in their temporary enclosures. So let's go. A thank you note. Very nice. Let's see. Springtime is a reminder to appreciate life and all of its beauty. We appreciate you and your business. If you have any questions, please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Ah, that was very nice. So as far as importers go, Underground is pretty decent. All right, so we got a nice insulated top there. I'm gonna take that out. And as usual, paper. And let's see what we've got. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's so beautiful, you guys. He's so beautiful. All right. Oh, well, I've never seen them shipped in the paper like rat and mouse bedding before, but that's okay. So this is a male African white spot gecko, Tarantola annularis. They are a fairly arid, desert-dwelling, rock-climbing species. They have sticky feet, and they are strictly insectivores. This is a male. You can see on the back, this is why they call them the white spot geckos. They've got sometimes two rows, sometimes one row of white spots on their back. Very nice. All right, so let's see what these ladies look like. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Look at her. Look at her. And they all look so chunky and good. This species is very hardy, so they generally do well even as imports. Very good. They are very flighty. They're not a handleable species. They're definitely a display, but they are voracious hunters. They're really fun to watch eat. And the offspring that I have produced with my previous pair are actually significantly more social than their parents. Now, they're not handleable. I wouldn't call them handleable, but they do recognize me as the food bringer, and they will tongue feed for me, which is a great feeling to have these little guys just taking it off the tongues. I love it. So here's the first. Oops. Here's the first female. I think you can see her white spots a little better. Yeah, you can see she's got two rows here of white spots. Oh yeah, I just made substrate reptile keeper nails. And let's see what the other female looks like. Oh, okay, she's a little bit bigger. That's great. Again, in the colorful paper bedding, interesting, but you know, whatever works. That one's got nice spots, and she is in the process of shedding. Oh, it's okay, baby. Okay, there she is. Look how pretty. Look at that pretty girl. A little bit bigger. So that's great. So that's it. Our temperatures both here and where they came from in Florida are in the 70s, and at the hub in Tennessee, where they briefly made their landing before coming to me. So there was no need for any heat or cool packs or anything like that. So that made shipping great and easy. So now let's go ahead and set up their temporary enclosures. All right, so I've got these two Exoterra 12 by 12 cubes set up here. I already have substrate in them. I used a combination of organic topsoil and a sand called Terra Dune, which is a natural non-compacting desert sand. So very safe to use. And now they're going to spend very little time in the substrate. However, even though these are temporary setups, it's common for females to be imported gravid. And so I want to make sure they have an option to dig and bury their eggs if they are, in fact, gravid. Could be. But again, just want to give them the chance. So let's set up their enclosures. They are, as I said, arboreal geckos. So we are going to give them a lot of climbing options. They do like cork bark tubes. I like to use the half tubes, like the ones that are like they don't completely close up, because if I need to be able to get the animal out to check on it, I can't do that with a lot of times with a full tube, and so I use ones like this that are half tubes so they can still go in there and hide, and have a good little crevice for themselves. Unlike some other species of geckos, they don't lay their eggs up high. They don't stick them to anything. They will actually put them in the substrate, in the soil, and bury them. Got this cute little pine cone oak leaf thing that a friend gave me. It's definitely not at all fitting with an African theme, but it's cute, so we're going to use it. All right. Number one is set up. So I am going to be putting the larger female and the male into one of these. They were housed together at underground, and so I don't feel the need to quarantine them from each other so much as, just quarantining them from my other reptiles, of course. And then once they've passed their quarantine period in about a month, they will, well, 1 to 2 months, depending on how they do. They will go into their adult or permanent enclosures, which will be 18 by 18 by 18. And my plan is to kind of swap the male back and forth. They have been seen living in harems. However, I've also heard that females may pick on each other, and they can be cannibalistic. So I don't want to risk that with them, of course. Did I tell you guys the species name? It's Tarantola annularis. In case I didn't, that's what it is. African white spot gecko. And again, I'm setting this up with substrate and cork bark and everything, and I'm not doing a bare bones quarantine setup because I do want to give the females an option if they are gravid. I want to be able to give them something to dig in. As you can imagine, they have had a long overnight journey, and they are stressed, and they are likely a little bit dehydrated. Now, they are not the type that will drink standing water. However, they will drink from droplets on the walls and from plants and cork bark pieces and stuff. So I am going to go ahead and spray down the enclosures before I put them in. Actually, let's go ahead and get the tops on. Last thing I want to do is release them into their enclosures and then realize that I had forgotten to put the top on. I'm not telling on myself or anything there. No, not at all. I've never done anything like that. Never ever. You guys like my new tap? That's my Nile Monitor Indy. My good boy. All right, I'm going to get my sprayer and we'll get these sprayed down. Nice and hydrating for these little ones. And then we'll get them placed up on their quarantine shelf with some heat. Don't know about you guys, but I love the sound of pumping a pump sprayer. Okay. Nice thorough spray down. Hit the walls well. Hit the cork bark pieces and the fake plants. Spray in the substrate just a little to help increase humidity overall. They are pretty arid, but again, we are trying to rehydrate right now. And these are not a species that you really want to soak. They will panic in a soak, and they may end up hurting themselves, or you may end up losing them when you're trying to get them out of the water. Let's give this one a good spray. Very nice. Something so calming about spraying an enclosure, isn't there? I think so. Okay, so now I'm going to get them out of their cups, which can be the scary part, but they're a little cool, so I think we'll do okay. I'm going to go ahead and get the larger female out first. And I'll give you guys some good close-up shots of her. You know what? I'm going to go do this in the bathroom, and then I'm going to bring the gecko out for you guys to see. Yeah, because if they bolt, at least they're contained in one room and not the entire house. I'll be right back with a gecko. Okay, here is the first female. They are not easy to sex, but I'm going to try to show you guys a little bit here. So you can see we've got no pores at all and no bulges. Now, even the males, they don't get large bulges, so it's you have to look at other characteristics as well. We can also see she has a very nice pointed and streamlined head. Very cute little face, of course. And you can see her, oops, she got me. You can see her white spots pretty well right now. Yeah, she's on my finger. Can we let go, ma'am? Thankfully, they don't bite as hard as Tokays. Oh, good Lord. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to put the first lady in her new enclosure. Okay, here we go. Close this door. And she's in. There she is. Okay, I'm going to get the male so you guys can see what he looks like. All right, so this is the male. So right off the bat, you can see a few differences in the head shape. The wider head, less of a pointy nose. And then if we look down here, we can see pores right here. Very, very barely visible. They're there. And very tiny bulges here. Again, they're not very easy to sex, so you also have to depend on the other characteristics such as the larger head, overall larger body, and stuff like that. You're beautiful. I love his dark coloration, and his spotting is, spot on. Yeah, I'm lame. I'm really that lame. All right, we're gonna put him in with his future bride here. All right, here we go. There he goes. Get that closed quickly. And there we have him. Beautiful, beautiful boy. Female went back over here behind that. All right. Well, I'm going to get the other female set up in this other enclosure here, and then I'll come back and give you guys an update. Okay, so I've got them up here, my quarantine area, next to another quarantined project that I'm very excited about. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know what that project is. But here is our pair, and here is our single female. Like everybody's well hidden, which is good. They're finding their favorite spots in the enclosure. And this is not an enclosure you want to open willy-nilly and just start digging around and looking for animals either, because they will shoot out so fast. Again, not telling on myself or anything. Promise. Wink, wink. So these guys are from Northern Africa and parts of the Middle East. They do need it hot during the day, and they can handle a pretty significant night drop. I'm using these small 25-watt MVB halogens right now. So they produce UVA and UVB. They don't strictly need UVB. However, I have absolutely seen them bask, especially cryptically. They are nocturnal, so you're not going to see them come out really during the day, other than a foot or a tail here and there. But at night, they are very active. So I will try feeding them tonight, and hopefully they will eat their crickets. All right, guys, I'm back out here. It's nighttime. I just have one of the overhead lights on. And sure enough, we have a female out right here. Focus. And then we have our male. He is right down here. He's kind of hiding. Look at that spikes on the tubercles on his tails. It's tubercle shaped scales. There we go. Oh, there he is. There he is. Beautiful, beautiful boy. And then our other female. Let's see if she is out anywhere. I think she is still hiding away. And that's okay. I'm not going to dig around for her. Just let her be. I am going to go ahead and give these guys their Jiminy's, as Diane would say, from Reptilianus. I don't know if they'll eat in front of us, but I am going to go ahead and give it to them. Be careful not to spook them and get them to run out. Go. I do have a camera on them, and that does definitely make a difference with their activity level with any animal, any reptile especially, so you can see the IR. So I think they will probably eat later tonight. I didn't have a problem with my other pair getting them to eat, so I don't expect to have a problem with these. Go ahead and put crickets in for her. There we go. So I did come up with names. This one that is hiding right now is Franny. And then over here we have Fufu and Finn. Franny, Fufu, and Finn. I don't know why. They were just giving F names to me. She's watching those crickets. She's interested. They're up, they're out and about, and they are Beautiful. Finn, my goodness, look at those eyes. Beautiful guy. Well, and then hopefully Miss Franny will be out tomorrow. So let me know, guys, do you want to see updates on them? Are you interested in these guys? Would you like to see babies from my previous pair? Would you like to see eggs if I get them? Let me know. And don't forget, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and please share. We'll end on one more shot. Beautiful Finn. Good boy.